2, 1. Stop laughing. We tried. You know what? We're running with it. Cheerio. Good day. We are back. Union Smack is here to review episode 79 and 80 of NXT UK. Holding down the fort, true to form, as advertised, as promised. We are back with consistent NXT UK reviews. Doubling up. Cannot do this alone, though. With me, as always, my co-host, the most passionate, diehard NXT UK fan out there today. Look for the book coming sooner than later. Matt Tennant, what's going on, man? Where can anyone catch you? How you been?
We're very well, Travis, and you can catch me as usual on Twitter at The Perfect Tenant. You can buy our official merchandise, all our shirts, from our online store at unionsmack.bigcartel.com. And like you said, you will be able to purchase my second book, NXT UK Year 1, coming shortly. And I say every week, but I promise we're getting closer and closer to completion.
Amen. And go ahead and grab the Undertaker book, Whitecam, which is already available. It's been out. It's amazing. I did the introduction, A Trip Down Death Valley, there on our store.
Yes, you can grab it now on our store. It's as cheap as you're going to get it from anywhere else. But if you do want to get it from anywhere else, you can also get it from completelynovel.com.
As always, thank you, ProWrestlingJournal.com, for featuring us right here. If you're not familiar with them, get over there now. The most underrated, fantastic, top-notch writers for pro wrestling going today. If it happened in a ring, they're your thing. Thank you once again for featuring us, the official podcast network of the PWJ site. And as always, me on Twitter at the HitBickyTMD. As always, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, HitBickyTMD, hit that little red button right down below if you already haven't, for all the goddamn best retro gaming, pro wrestling, heavy metal podcasts, streams, Terry Bollea press conferences. We got you covered, all the bases. It's good to be back, Matt. It's really good to be back. It's really good to hear your voice from me from a personal standpoint real quick. Just shout out once again, all the stuff been going on in my life. Thank you guys once again for the outpouring support. But my man, it's good to talk some wrestling and escape the trials of life.
Yes, indeed. And that's what this podcast has been for us for 2.5, 3 years now. Just a nice escape where we can talk to each other, we can talk to our friends and our fans, and just say fuck you to the world.
Fuck you. Matt?
Yeah.
NXT UK, we got two more episodes down now in the books we're going to cover today. So one of my biggest problems I feel like still with the show is it's taped so far ahead in advance that when we get to episode 80 with like the main event of the Steel Corner Street fight and all that stuff, there's so lack of buzz behind everything. And I think, are you kind of with me where I wish they would change this taping, just kind of systematic crap they're doing?
I mean, it would be nice to either, it's not possible to have it live, but to broadcast the tapings like sooner rather than later after they're recorded, because like the whole Eddie Dennis thing is just like, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks now, and obviously it's like, he's vacated the title in Progress, and it's old news now. We even did a piece on it on Tenant Talks, and so by the time we got to it, it's just like, it wasn't so much, it's the rematch from TakeOver, this is where Eddie Dennis injured himself, but I think the fact that it's done out of sequence is like, we've already seen him injured, vacate the Progress title, and now we're just seeing him get injured. It's just like a bit of a lack of mercy, right?
Mm-hmm. And for me personally, that's a shame, because I liked that match and just the entire that segment in general, rounding out episode 80. And it was good with MJF and Cody on AEW this week in the whipping, but you had this guy, and I even put out the tweet, you retweeted it, you saw it, where these guys are killing themselves, literally in real life injuries, or they're hitting each other with belts 10 times, and people are talking about that way more, and it's just such a discredit to performances like that. We'll get there, though. We will get there. There's so much, I feel like, I don't want to say so much has happened in NXT UK, but I feel like there's in a way, a flood of this kind of new. Some of the new talent coming in is weird, and there's some vignettes with like Xena Warrior Princesses and just, I don't know, but I still feel like this brand, there's potential there.
I'm glad.
Good.
Oh, sorry, I thought I'd lost you then. I was
No,
just going
no.
to say, I'm glad that I wasn't the only one that got Xena vibes from Iofi Valkyrie's little vignette. I thought it was a trailer for Wonder Woman 2 when I first saw it come on. I thought,
Right?
what's that doing in the middle of NXT UK? And then I was just like, oh, yeah.
You know what? Let's stop bitching about the qualms because we got a lot to get into. Let's just get right into it. Let's get right into 79 from New York again, Matt. This one, but besides the
Yes.
recap of what went down with Worlds Collide and stuff, this one kicked off with a duo we haven't seen in quite some time, but one that's been quite missed from you and I.
Yes, the Brit-Am Brawlers, as they're calling them now. I say as they're calling them now. They could have been calling them that for months. But like I said to you before we come on air, I don't really watch that much NXT unless it's Pete Dunne anymore. So it was very nice to see Danny Burch back in NXT UK and against the Hunt as well. And you know what, Travis? I really liked this match. Not just because it was Danny Burch, and I'm obviously a huge Danny Burch mark, but yeah, I thought you know what? I thought this was the Hunt's best tag match in NXT UK.
Right, same. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I was just about to say that. It was a very hard hit. It was very underrated as far as just all the TV this week from all the promotions of how hard-hitting and good and solid of a match it was.
Yeah. And do you know, everyone played their part well. I don't, pardon me, I don't like Primate that much, but I think he did a great job. I think Danny Burch did a great job of selling. You know, Oney Lorcan and Mike Hitchman knocked the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, it was sportsmanlike, but it was also quite personal and brutal as well, and it just very, very good indeed.
What do you think of just how the Hunt's been handled? Kind of where they should be? Because that's where I'm at. I wouldn't make this my top team at all. I don't think there's a lot to work with there as just far as a face of the tag brand right now. I feel like they're exactly where they should be.
It's difficult because the NXT UK Tag Team division, it started out small, but now it's growing exponentially. It's like they've just signed Pretty Deadly as well, who are a great team if, you know, people have never seen them on the indies. I think the Hunt had potential when they put them together. I just think it's been wasted. I think that they're the tag team version of Ligero to the point where they get victories and then lose to the bigger teams, you know, when it comes to crunch time. It's a shame for me because I like Mike Hitchman a lot. I'm a big fan of Wild Boar. And to see him shackled in this tag team with Primate, it's like, you could be doing so much more with him. You know, he's such a talented guy. But these are the cards he's been dealt. I like that he's making the most of it. Can I see him going any further than this? Probably not. But,
yeah,
you know, they're a reserve team in case something goes wrong, Travis. And you never know, they might get the babyface storyline. And they might become more interesting than they are now.
Here's where I kind
That's my hope, anyway.
For me, where I kind of equate the Hunt's position on the card at, in my mind, is, okay, Mustache Mountain, Heart Foundation, the Hunt, Nasty Boys. I think that's fair. And I feel like the Nasty Boys, I mean, they had a run. They made a career off of it. Not everyone can be the tippy top, and people just fail to realize that. And I feel like their matches are so hard-hitting, like you said, and they're so believable, and there's so much validation in what the Hunt can do. It's giving them their fan base. They're not being treated like shit or schlubs in there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've got one problem with the Hunt, and that's that every match is the same fucking thing. You know, it's the same agenda. It's like Mike Hitchman is the punch bag. He gets the hot tag to Primate. Primate clears house. Primate gets taken out, and then Mike Hitchman gets pinned. That's the problem I've got with the Hunt right now. If they spiced it up a little bit, maybe they'd stand a better chance, but right now it's formulaic, and they're lucky that, you know, Burch and Lorcan didn't allow it to get boring, because it could have done.
Do they care enough right now? Because, you know, they've yet to have that solid takeover match at all. They've never been booked there. I'm sure they're still, you know, being booked. And are they being booked in other UK promotions right now?
Mike Hitchman, yes, in like Pro Wrestling Chaos, which has just had a major shake-up. And he's talked about, I've not heard of Primate outside of his match in progress with Mark Andrews a couple of months ago. So I think Primate is less active than Mike Hitchman. But it's like on the Indies, Mike Hitchman is this big name. He's this big wrestler who can draw an indie house. But in NXT UK, it's just like they look at him and they go, yeah, jobber.
What do you think of the double DDT finish here?
I liked it. I mean, I would have preferred the Hunt to go over. But do you know what? They're building. Can't find my words. They're building Birch and Lorcan up for a NXT UK Tag Team title shot against Gallus, and right result in the grand scheme of things.
This is actually the first they've teamed up in almost a year. Tony's next, though.
Broke up then. You have to repeat
Oh,
that.
sorry. I was going to say this is about the first time in a year they've tagged up Lorcan and Birch. They haven't teamed up in a while. On NXT UK.
Yeah.
Up next, man. It's
Yeah, it is. Last time we saw Danny Birch. Go on, we've got a lag issue, but
I think we're good now. You good?
yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I was just gonna say it's not actually the first time we've seen them on NXT UK together.
No, I was saying
We have to go all the way back to.
it's the first time we've seen them on NXT UK in about a year, is what I said before we had the issue and stuff.
Yeah. Since those hideous tapings in, was it New York?
Worlds Collide 1.
Or was it Philadelphia around Rumble time last year? Yeah, just horrible.
Yeah. Up next, speaking of horrible, Tony Storm interviewed backstage. Matt?
Do you know what? It was horrible, but it was very short, which was a godsend. And it was a Worlds Collide exclusive. They asked her what went wrong against Rhea Ripley, and she said that Kaylee Ray is still in her head, and it has to end. I like that they tied the Rhea Ripley loss, into the Tony Storm chasing the NXT UK Women's Championship storyline, and without giving obviously too much away to people who haven't seen it, Travis, and what's to come, we are going to get to see the end of that feud very, very shortly.
I feel like, because I saw a clip this week, I don't know if you did, I saw a clip from WXW with Killer Kelly and Tony Storm where she's a heel in WXW right now, and she cut a heel promo on Killer Kelly. Did you see this?
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know she's a marvellous heel, much better than she's face.
If she's going to NXT, they need to make Rhea the babyface and Tony the heel, because she is night and day better as a heel on the mic, hands down. Just from that one clip I saw with Killer Kelly, is a completely different person. So much more interesting for me as a heel, as this spoiled, this hot woman from the Gold Coast is such a heel name of a place to be from. Like, that's where a heel's from. Like, if it's a babyface, you're like, oh, puke, the Gold. You know what I mean? Just, there's so many heel qualities.
Yeah.
Wait, just like what they're doing with Britt Baker right now, where it wasn't working as the dentist. People are going, ugh. And she's a shitty heel, but I mean, at least they healed her. Tony Storm would be a way better heel than Britt Baker. I know she would.
Yeah.
By far. Do it, cowards.
And also, I think in ring, I also think she's better in ring as a heel than she is as a babyface. It's like, she can unshackle herself and just do what she wants.
Yep. Is it Eddie Dennis and Trent next, Matt? I believe.
It was, yes. Suited and booted Eddie Dennis, in fact. They come out, address takeover, and Eddie Dennis says that he did this, and we get a recap of him throwing Seven over the top rope, and then Trent Seven comes out predictably, and the long and short of it is, Travis, is that he rips he rips the turnbuckle off and challenges Eddie Dennis to a steel corners street fight.
We have never seen this in WWE. I'm almost 100%, right? This stipulation.
Yeah, this is the first time.
I like it. I mean, it says so much with doing so little. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and do you know the actual segment here? I thought came off better than it would have 3 or 4 months ago because we haven't seen as many long promo segments recently. So I thought it played the feud well. It didn't take up too much time, and it got you excited for what was to come.
Did what it needed to do. What more can you ask? Up next, we got a
Exactly.
little.
It did a job.
Exactly. We got a little clip here with Tyler Bate where he asks for a match with A-Kid next week. And A-Kid is, this whole trying to impress him and this whole, I don't know what they're doing here, but I'm a fan of A-Kid. There's tons of potential there.
Yeah, like we said last episode, Trevor, it's like A-Kid isn't just this high flyer who, can do a Hurricane Rana and a moonsault and just flip about the ring. He's got so much wrestling knowledge in him, like mat game and technical. It's a nice mix. I don't think he's going to go too far. At least he's not going to get to Tyler Bates level. But the potential's there if they ever decide to use him, and I hope they do.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this match in a little bit. Xena, warrior princess, like we were talking. It is time. Get out your sword and your bondage outfits. What do you? I don't know. It's pro wrestling. I get it. Maybe it'll grow on me. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen Ioti Valkyrie in the ring yet, so I'm not going to say excited because we've had a lot of women debuting in NXT UK, Travis, and they've all just mostly fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
But they've made a big deal of her, so maybe she'll strengthen the women's division.
I also find it fucking hilarious that John Morrison resigns and they don't bring in Taya Valkyrie. They bring in the other Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie no one's ever heard of unless you live in Wales.
Exactly. The other one, Taya Valkyrie, sometimes I wish I hadn't heard of. Ugh. Speaking of which, people I hadn't heard of, Nina Samuels in NXT UK has not set my world on fire at all. There was little glimpses like a year and a half ago, however long it's been, when they started doing something. Ever since the concert last year when she was in the mud and this comedy shit, that completely killed the steam in a character for me. I feel like they're building up Isla Dawn as the next challenger for Kaylee Ray. I don't know so far ahead in the spoilers and stuff like you do. We'll see. Hopefully I'm right because I love Isla Dawn. She's tremendous. I feel like she's progressed, not leaps and bounds, but I feel like a lot of the kinks that we've complained about her in ring over the course of doing this show, it's gotten much more tolerable. It's not perfect. This match didn't set my world on fire by any means, but the finish was solid. I mean, she connected with Meteora.
Yep. And you know what? I've been saying this about Isla Dawn for the last, I think, 6 months now. That she's upped her game so much, and she's turned us around. Like last year, October to 2018, we were sat here saying like she's terrible. Her outfit's too tight around her vagina. Everything needs to be loosened up, including her in-ring work. And you know what? She's done it. But she's turned us around, and we were wrong. And I hope it's like that they're definitely not building her up as a challenger to Kaylee Ray on the York tapings. But I feel like with a little bit more in-ring work and like not a one-off television feud against Kaylee Ray, like she needs a 2-3 month rivalry with her to really get in there and learn from her. But if they do it and they book her right, she's a future star, and I'm excited to watch her grow, Travis.
Me too. Up next, exclusive, right? This was the exclusive Dragunov interview from Worlds Collide.
Yeah. And what can you say about this? It's just I don't like seeing Ilya Dragunov talk. I think he's one of them wrestlers who needs to talk less and just be seen wrestling. If you have to have him talking, give him a mouthpiece, give him a manager, turn him heel, anything. But yeah, I don't. What do you take away from this?
I like watching him
for
work.
me, Ilya Dragunov should go on.
Sorry. I like watching him work, but I hate any sound that comes out of his mouth. I hate when he does the weird grunts, the I'm a psychopath sounds, any of it when he speaks. I'm not a fan either. I feel like I'm with you. I'm with you. He could benefit from a good mouthpiece as a heel too.
Yeah. And this is just to build up the Joe Coffey match as well.
Yeah, like I don't even care about this
which
feud
we
to
already
begin
know
with.
is going to happen.
Yeah. So like me not giving a shit about this feud because it has
Yeah,
babyface
exactly.
Joe Coffey in it probably doesn't help.
Do you know what? I think this is probably a way of getting Joe Coffey heel again, but I think Ilya Dragunov's the wrong person to do it against because I don't think their styles are going to match, and I hope we're proved wrong.
Me too.
But I'm not holding my breath for it.
I feel like it's so people over there in the UK that there's just this organic, natural disdain for Coffey that he's so hard to make a babyface. Because you said it even from the 2 Blackpool shows, how people just loathed Joe Coffey. Even in there with Walter, people weren't getting behind the Coffey train as much as they should have.
Nope, they weren't. I'm 100% sure it's because he's Scottish, and obviously, like the English and the Scots, they do not get on. But Joe Coffey's a born heel. It's like the face, the body, the mannerisms. It's just don't try to make him a babyface. I feel like he'd have got a much better reception at Takeover if they'd have just gone with a heel versus heel match.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like 3 a.m. over there for you. You could go for a coffee train right now. Ah, there's my dad joke #1 of the year, Matt, right there.
Oh my God.
Speaking of,
everyone's shaking their head now, Travis. Come on.
Everyone's turned off the show. I'm sorry. Come back because it's time to go back to Radzi, Matt.
Oh yeah, definitely come back for Radzi. Yeah, he's with Birch and Lorcan. And this is a very short interview where they basically challenge Gallus for the NXT UK Tag Team Championship. And I can't wait to see this match.
Same. Up next, I could have gone my whole fucking life without seeing the next match. Tyson T-Bone is back. The resurrection against Rich Holland. Now, to be fair, this is 3 minutes. Literally, this timed out at 3 minutes even of 2 big horses, just stiff fucking blows in there the whole time. But it was ugly. Bowling shoe ugly, as Jim Ross would say.
Yeah.
Tyson T-Bone lost to Ridge Holland. Tyson T-Bone just cannot catch a break, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Like, I don't want to see Tyson T-Bone in the ring again, ever.
I love the movie Snatch. I wish they would push him. I'm just kidding. He does nothing for me. Every time he comes on, he has Joseph Connor's levels with me. I just want to watch anything else. And I'm sorry. And it's not like I'm not being, I haven't been patient and fair the course of the show with those 2 guys right there alone. I've tried. I've tried. And you're the same way. It's never going to work for us with these guys. And I don't think they see anything either. Obviously, he's lost to Ridge Holland, Matt.
Do you not rate Ridge Holland? I don't know. There's something about him that I'm liking. It's like he's not anywhere near a main event level yet or anything, but I see some potential in him.
I do too, but I feel like at the same time, Tyson T-Bone at first kind of lived off of the word potential and he never delivered. Because I feel like they thought like, hey, he could make a kick-ass bodyguard for a guy, or he's got a great look. It just never panned out.
I can't believe you just used the word potential and Tyson T-Bone in the same sentence.
Well,
but from the very beginning, I never saw anything in him. Like, no potential, no anything, other than just this scumbag gypsy character who would probably steal your car stereo if you left him in it on his own too long.
Matt is cutthroat this week.
Well, what do you expect?
Is it main event time? We got South Wales Subculture going in there with Imperium.
Yes, and Dave Mastiff, who really, really needs to put his singlet back on.
Yeah.
It's like, Dave, I like you as a wrestler, but please, please cover it up.
Please.
But it's not pretty.
If you're going to wear tights that look like Vader, then take a cue from Vader and never take it off.
But do you know what? I saw him wrestle in 2016 without the singlet on, and I just looked at him and thought, he's never going to be a good wrestler. So, and do you know what? He's slimmed down since then. So you can imagine what he looked like in 2016 with just those little black tights on.
Ugh. I'm gonna change the subject to anything else right now. Matt, we got asked last year, you and I on Twitter by another podcast, to give our recommended underrated gems of NXT UK for 2019. I feel like for me already in 2020, this match would be on my list already. I loved this match. This was a tremendous fucking match for me. I don't know about you. Maybe I'm way more excited than I should be, but this match had everything for me, and this is why I love pro wrestling. It had a mixture of the big brother, little brother ship with Andrews and Webster with a partner the size of Mastiff. They gave me some Brett and Anvil vibes in there for a second. I liked it. And I feel like Imperium are the most underrated act in WWE, the entire company, hands down right now, for how good they are. Nobody talks about them.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that, hands down. The match itself, I mean, I'm not going to be down on it. It was very good. I just find it difficult to get excited about anything with Mark Andrews in it these days.
He suits, for me, he's much better suited in a tag team, because his shit in Progress in the past year, I don't like him in that kind of level. For me, it doesn't work. I'm sorry, but he's a perfect in this role for me. It's kind of like this, I don't want to say the Rockers type tag team, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, he's like the Rockers, but at the same time, I feel like he's holding Webster back. I really do. I feel like Flash Morgan Webster is such a good wrestler.
I'd much prefer Andrews and A-Kid to be a tag team.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're putting together a few tag teams now for the sake of it. And it's just like, maybe let Flash Morgan Webster break out on his own. But then again, are they going to push him? You see, now I'm thinking about that. Now I'm thinking it's like, I'm moaning about South Wales Subculture being a team because Flash Morgan Webster's being held back. But then it's going to have the Travis Banks effect if he goes solo.
Yeah.
There's no winning, Travis.
It's another case of showcase the Cruiserweight title on that show now a lot with Jordan Devlin having it, or just they need more incentive than just one men's title. They need a secondary title, but then there's too many titles. I don't know. It's its own show at the same time. You know, I mean, these guys got to have something to fucking fight for and something to do eventually. That's any wrestling show, right?
Yeah, I don't think the Cruiserweight title is going to be counted as a secondary title. Is Jordan Devlin's going to defend it across both NXT brands.
Right.
So I think the implementation, like we said ages ago, of a European Championship, because there's so many non-British wrestlers there, it would do wonders for the mid-card division, especially if you treated it like you treat the North American Championship.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. That's how they closed out the show. Imperium standing tall. This distraction finish.
Yeah, Dave Mastiff and Walter build into a title match.
Yippee.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not excited at all.
See, we know how it ends, obviously.
Even if I didn't, I wouldn't have been that hyped at all, because it's...
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like you just you're done with that Dave Mastiff now.
I'm still hanging on with Joe Coffey for sure, but I think I've given up on the Mastiff experiment, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair because of what they've done with him, which is fuck all, which is nothing. Jack shit. 2 good matches at a takeover, which meant nothing after. Nothing. His match with Eddie Dennis meant shit. It is what it is.
I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Dave Mastiff, I think he's going to go down as another wasted opportunity.
We, my friend, we, my friend, will never, this show, you and I, anything, Tenet Talks, anything right here will never go down as wasted, squandered potential opportunity because we are not done. Episode 79 is in the books. I wouldn't say by any means it's an episode to go out of your way to watch. There's some good segments that lead up to better things on our next episode, I think is a fair way. And this match, for me, like I said, I really enjoyed this match, but I think it's because I love watching Imperium work, especially with South Wales subculture. They just knock it out of the park. Yeah, besides the main event and just good transition builds, the women's match with Isla Dawn was just to showcase Isla, not really, whatever. It's another episode, just another episode, really.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's watch the main event if you're going to watch anything on this show, but obviously don't go out your way to see the episode if you haven't got time.
Yep.
That's the best way I can describe it.
But go out of your way to stick around, because when we come back, we're going to get into episode 80 of NXT UK right here. But until we do, Matt, your Lord and Savior, has got a message for all the people. Pete Dunne up next. We'll be right back. Union Smack.
I'm the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, and you're listening to the Union Smack podcast.
It is with tremendous honor that we here from Union Smack induct our picks as the greatest legends in the history of British and European wrestling, right here on the Union Smack Hall of Fame, put together by my co-host, the Maniac, Matt Tennant. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for the first batch of inductees right here on the Union Smack podcast. We are back, Union Smack, right here, Matt. It is time once again to head back, still in York, right? Correct, for episode 80.
Yeah, still in York. Yeah.
What did this kick off? Piper Niven, right? For this week's episode.
Yes. Piper Niven versus Danny Luna.
Danny Luna.
Danny Luna, another one that's just signed with WWE. Along with Pretty Deadly, and I can't remember the other bloke's name. He's some power lifter, I think, in the UK. I'd have to look it up.
Right.
But can I just say, it's like match was, you know what I mean, just fine. But Danny Luna has so much potential, and I think with this strong women's division that they've got now, I think she's just going to make it stronger.
This was a little, I don't want to say miscommunication for me, and I hate to say it because I think she's tremendous. It's a little sloppy from Piper Niven at one point in this match, and it looked like she was looking for like cues, to be honest. But other than that, the match was fine. Like I don't want to say they saved it because it didn't like ruin the match, but people still love Piper Niven. She gets a good reaction. She's very likable. She's Nia Jax done right, which I've said a million times. I feel like.
Yep, but I will say about Piper Niven, it's like she needs to start looking like she cares more, because she looked like she couldn't give a shit.
Exactly.
During this match. I feel like all the hype and the excitement she had going into TakeOver, it just disappeared when they left Blackpool, and now she's just like, collect a check.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. She couldn't be bothered. It felt like she was just, I don't want to say, well, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. She phoned it in. And I feel like that's why it was a little sloppy, too. Because she didn't care.
And the crowd could sense it as well. Yeah, and the crowd could sense it. They were dead for the most part, and they just didn't care.
I feel like...
They just didn't care. And you know what? There's no reason they should have been as slow and as... I'm not going to say tiresome, because it was fine, but as slow and as methodical as it should be, because Danny Luna can go at a pace, Piper Niven can go at a pace, and I would have liked to have seen them surprise the crowd. First match on, it's already been a long tape. Already been a long taping for them, Travis. You know?
Yeah.
Just give them something to get them going.
There's just another paint by numbers Piper Niven match at the end of the day for me.
Yeah.
Four and a half minutes.
Do you know what? It wouldn't get any better timing wise as we carried on with the matches, which is a shame.
We get Gallus accepting the challenge from Birch and Lorcan. This is every other Gallus promo for me. Sorry. What did you think about this little bit here, Matt?
I thought it was fine. I like the way it was put together. Then basically accepting the challenge. I'm glad it wasn't just a normal interview with like, yeah, we'll accept the challenge, blah 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 blah. It was a nice little video, and like we said, did the job before it did the job, Travis.
I don't know. You say it felt like a different type interview. I feel like they've tried to shoot vignettes with Gallus and backstage promos. It's from so many different kinds of styles. I feel like by now, and just different kinds of shots that I feel like everything's they've tried. It's all been done. So that's why I felt like every other Gallus promo. Oh, we're edgy, kind of. Not really, because we're Irish. I don't even know what they're supposed to mean. Are they in the mob? You know what I mean? That would make them so much cooler for me if they make Gallus in the mob, by the way. They should totally do that. Do it.
Well, I think after they lose the tag titles, and obviously, they need a facelift, Gallus, whatever that is, make them a mob, make them something, but they need something different before they begin to peter out.
You know what I love seeing when I watch a good old-fashioned episode of NXT UK, Matt? When I'm sitting down, got my little sheet, which I'm reading now, my little format that I take notes. You know what I love writing down? That I see a commercial for fucking Goldberg on SmackDown. Could give a shit less. I don't know why for some reason I put Goldberg commercial. I felt the need. When we come back to what we're here for, Jordan Devlin was interviewed about how he feels about winning the title and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I like Jordan Devlin a lot. I need more fire. I'm sorry, this didn't have a lot of fire in it.
Yeah. I mean, what was it, a minute? Maybe 45 seconds? But I don't know. What did he look like, Travis, on NXT? I didn't watch it.
I have not watched NXT. I have not gotten around to it.
Well, there you go. That's a redundant question then.
It really is. My Wednesdays I'm hanging out with the Cons and Cody, Matt. You forget this. Because I'm the asshole idiot that agreed to do an AEW show, which now I'm already about to tap out on because of that and that fan base.
Yeah. Unbearable, I think is the word. There's
worse words. Well, we won't go there. We're going to keep it nice, and we're going to back to the wrestling. Just another Jordan. If he's only got 45 seconds to a minute, Matt, that's kind of my point too. Like, show me more fire then. You got less time to work with, will make it mean more. Kind of, and I get it. That's old school thinking, but what's wrong with that? You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think he was probably going for, like, cool but menacing. But it just sort of came off like, I've just got out of the ring. You know, I just want to go home or go and get something to eat, get the camera out of my face.
Pretty much. I got to hit up Denny's. They're going to close. Wait, Denny's never closes. Up next, Tyler Bate, A-Kid, the match. I'm going to throw it to you, man. What did you think, first off, of Tyler Bate and A-Kid?
I thought it was a travesty that they only got 5 minutes. I think
right?
5 minutes, 50 seconds. I mean, a main event level match, like in any company around the world, and you give it just shy of 6 minutes. It's like, what else on this show did you have that was so important? You had to cut that. This show, don't want to give anyone spoilers, but this show was a 4-match show with one of the matches meaning anything. You could have made this a 3-match show and given the rest of the time to A-Kid and Tyler Bate. You could have given them 15 minutes to work a solid, exciting match, which would have been, Travis, a candidate for Match of the Year. Another one.
Yeah.
But instead you give them 6 minutes, you rush them through a routine, and A-Kid, I think, though he got some in, he looked weak in the loss.
Yeah. Didn't really make. I mean, why should we care about this guy? Well, people aren't going to know why they should care about this new guy in 5 minutes. I'm sorry. That's just not how that works, in my opinion, Matt. You know? You there? Oh my. Here we go again. Where has little Matt gone? We're going to stay on the air. We're going to do this. We're going to fix this. We're going to remedy this. We're going to call back Matt right now. We're not hitting stop. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling the dice as I hit my little button here and call back Matt. That's what we do for you guys, the listeners, throwing it back, peeking back the curtain. And no, contrary to popular belief, Matt's ringtone is not Pete Dunne's theme. Matt, we are still rolling. I even said, you know what? You guys are getting a special treat. I've kept the train going for us, you know. I even just said, contrary to popular belief, guys, see, Matt's ringtone is not Pete Dunne's theme.
Matt's theme tune. Oh, fuck, I've lost it, Travis. Matt's ringtone is Pete Dunne's theme. You just can't hear it your end.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. But yeah, let's keep the train rolling, man. We're still hanging on by a thread. I promise the listeners we pulled back the curtain just for them. They've been such dedicated listeners over the years that we just kept it going. So A-Kid and Tyler Bate deserve so much more goddamn time, though, is the general consensus, is what we're getting at.
Yes, they did.
I put what I said before we shit out, Matt. I said when you want to introduce a new talent like this and why we should care, you're never going to learn why you should care about a guy in 5 fucking minutes. That's not how that works, in my opinion. And then it shit the bed.
No, you're exactly right. It was good while it lasted, but the end shit the bed, the timing shit the bed, and Joseph Connor's coming out just will shit another bed in the future for us.
Ugh. Where did that take us to, Matt? Next, Matt, on this episode.
That took us to highlights of last week's main event, and then extra footage of Dave Mastiff looking for Walter backstage, and again just building up a title match, which is coming in the next few weeks during the York tapings.
Yep. Pretty much. It was just, more filler and transition to bigger and better things. Well, not maybe better, but other things.
Definitely not better.
Was this the debut of a Deadly Premonition?
Although with Premonition, I'll be honest. There you go.
Was this the debut next?
It wasn't a debut as such. We've seen Pretty Deadly before. I think this was a week before they actually signed their NXT UK contracts. But do you know what? I'm glad to have them aboard properly, Travis, because it'll mean that they don't get jobbed out, and it'll mean they get a shot. And obviously, Pretty Deadly are a good team, like Lewis and Howley, I was going to say. Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley, they're a great team. They're good wrestlers. And I think, given time and investment, which they're going to need, they can't just storm straight onto the scene and expect to make a splash. But with time and investment, it's like they could be major players in the NXT UK Tag Team division.
You know what? You're right, too, because I remember on a previous episode talking about them like a year ago and saying how Stoker and Howley sound like a law firm. It's all coming back to me.
Yes, yeah. And they didn't have the name Pretty Deadly then. It was just Stoker and Howley. It was just like, could you sound any more like corporation than that? But they've allowed them to bring over the Pretty Deadly name from the Indies, and yeah, very, very much looking forward to seeing what they allow them to do in the future. Because this match, it was shit, and it wasn't a patch on what they can do.
No, I was not really a fan of this at all. Just fucking boring, just sloppy, just I don't know. It's
I'm
not
not
good.
a fan of Ashton. I'm not a fan of Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter as a team. Like Ashton, for some reason, Ashton Smith has grown his hair just enough that he looks like a 40-year-old Jamaican who should be selling fruit on a seafront from a makeshift stall. I don't know. Ashton Smith is done in NXT UK for me, as much potential as he had in the tournament. Oliver Carter needs a better direction, and don't go out your way to watch this match.
That is very fair. That's all I'm going to say. That is very fair. And I can't believe that I had such a brain fart going into that. I called him Deadly Premonition. I don't know why. I called him that. Jesus Christ. It's been a long day.
Let's just say to our listeners, it's late for both of us, and we can't be expected to remember everything.
Deadly Premonition. God.
Oh dear.
Where is it? It's not main event time. I think it's another Xena Warrior Princess build up for she's debuting next episode, right?
Yes. Next week we're getting her. So yeah, that'll be an experience. We get Ilya Dragunov training for Joe Coffey in the Performance Center, and literally the whole thing of this is him smacking a tire with a sledgehammer, and he says he's ready for Joe Coffey.
I see Stephanie McMahon do this workout online all the time. Why is this so hard for him to do?
He really looks like he's having to exert a lot of effort.
Yeah, I was going to say Stephanie McMahon looks like she has an easier time than this fucking guy. Come on. Oh.
Oh dear.
I
was watching that going. My missus.
They could put him out there punching holes through buildings at this point with this guy. I just don't care still. The more and more I see stuff of this, I just have this, you know what it is? And it's not, this might go off topic for a second, but that's okay because besides what we're about to talk about next, this episode's been pretty much shit. Nothing to it. I miss Pete Dunne on this brand. I 100%. It's sinking in now how much he added to being on this show, I feel like, and there's nobody to really take the mantle like that in a way that's not already kind of intertwined with him in a Mustache Mountain capacity, that it's going to be hard to make a new guy because he was the guy of NXT UK. It's just, I miss Pete. I don't even have to ask you, by the way. We already know that you miss Pete. I guess
You're right, though. I think it's becoming obvious that like the hole that he's left. Tyler Bate, I think, will step up and fill it at some point. Just look at how he's evolved over 3 years and where he is at now. But right now, it's like you've got a Pete Dunne hole in your brand and you can't fill it. I did notice, though, however, Travis, during this episode, there was an advert for WWE Shop, and they were cycling through all the NXT UK T-shirts and merchandise, and they included his in with it. So, I think a little part of them still thinks, could we bring him back, maybe?
Matt, I feel like you're throwing in little clues here for what you... Finally, we can say 3 years we've been doing this show, guys. Matt has finally, officially, 100%, gotten the order confirmed. The Pete Dunne figure's on its way. Oh, my God. The world is celebrating, Matt. Finally. You did it, man. You fucking did it. I'm so happy for you.
Did it. I've got it. It looks amazing. And you know what? It was worth every single penny.
You guys have no clue. Matt has made me passionate for this figure, and I'm not even passionate for the figure, but I've wanted him to get it so bad over, it feels like forever now, but I'm so elated you got it. So, and does that speak to this week's episode of NXT UK that I'm popping for your figure purchase more than anything we've talked about on this show, pretty much?
I think it does. But then again, it's pretty exciting. It's I feel like it's a milestone ticked off. And I also feel like it's been a running theme throughout Union Smack for a while now. It's we've mentioned it before. It's I've wanted this figure, and it's been like a regular update things, and we finally got it. So we're going to have to find something else to talk about now, Travis. So that's it. The figure's done.
I really want a
So now-
pinball table. I
Find
mean,
something else.
I want a pinball table. Let's talk about that for 3 years till I get one.
Let's get Travis a pinball table.
Not just any pinball table. I want an Iron Maiden pinball table, guys. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I'm just kidding. This main event. It's time. It's time to get down. It's not time.
It's not. No, it's not. It's Kaylee Ray first.
Oh, yes. Go on.
Oh, yes. Let's cut it short. Basically, Kaylee Ray comes out, says the title is intoxicating, all the control is hers. Tony Storm then comes out, and this basically ends in Kaylee Ray saying that Tony Storm is obsessed with the title, and she'll give her one last shot in an I Quit match. I feel like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel with her now, and especially seeing as that we know how this ends, it's just like a big fire payoff. It's going to be.
Yep. And I mean, it's not even because we know the spoilers or anything. It's just, it just didn't do anything for me. And people like what they like, and it's just Tony Storm in that role. We've said a million times.
It hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything, won't do anything. And talking of big wet farts, Travis, it's like, up to now, this episode has just been one.
It's okay.
And I don't know about you, but it feels like this episode has felt like the longest out of any for at least 3 or 4 months now. But it just felt like it went on and on and on.
It's okay, because I feel like when we didn't have lag issues, we were highly entertaining, and we had solid, valid points, as we always do. It's why we do what we do.
Yes. But you can blame the wonderful British weather and the storm that's been raging for 24 hours for our technical issues on this episode. We will be better next week, folks, we promise.
While our connection is somewhat decent this second, let's get down to it. Now it's main event time, correct?
Yes, it is. Steel Corner Street Fight, Trent Seven, Eddie Dennis. And can I just say, I liked it, Travis, but I felt like they rushed themselves towards that one spot.
Yeah, I mean, the story told during the match, did the means justify the end? The means felt like they were rushed to get to the end.
Yeah, and you know what? I was more interested and more invested in the last few minutes after the Burning Hammer. That, and obviously, if people don't know what we're talking about, Trent Seven, Burning Hammer, from the announce desk, through a conveniently set up table in front of it, separated Eddie Dennis's shoulder, but Eddie Dennis still carried on, and he was biting the ropes and the ring apron, and you could tell he was in pain and discomfort, but he carried on, Travis, and Trent Seven kept working over the arm, he kept pulling it, and I've got a whole new respect for Eddie Dennis after watching this.
Like we said going in, I thought the gimmick to the match was unique. We'd never seen it in this company before. It was a less is more type thing. But there was so much more they could have done with that stipulation in there. And it was just, I hope we get this in another match down the road.
Oh, yeah.
I hope not next week, but I mean, like maybe a year or so, they'll go back to this and we'll get a much better match from other guys. But yeah, if this would have been on a takeover, oh my God, it would have been night and day and better, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, they barely touched the steel corners. And I know, like you say, less is more, but I would have preferred maybe Trent Seven to take a beating off of them before he obviously got his payback on Eddie Dennis.
I mean, that's the only logical thing to me I would have booked is just this David and Goliath thing, the size difference, the story you want to tell, where finally when he gets his ass beat the whole match, usually when there's a stipulation match, it caters to the heel. Right, and the pop is the babyface at the end, not sneaking a win, but pulling out a miracle, and I love the finish. It sucks what happened to Eddie Dennis, but it was good. It was a good moment. We'll say that. Match, good moment. you know?
Yeah, I feel like knowing what happened to his shoulder just made me, I don't know, not enjoy it more, but it was
Appreciate
almost
it.
like you knew the discomfort he was in, you knew what was wrong with him, and it was just, I wanted it to end for his sake. You know, because I could see Trent Seven pulling at the shoulder for the Seven Stars Lariat and
Yeah.
as a burning hammer, and it was just like, my God. I
Mhm.
felt his pain.
Brutal to watch, knowing what we knew, and testament, man. And get well soon, Eddie Dennis. I shouted him out that on Twitter, and he liked it. So there's my Mark moment. Get well soon, man. And it sucks what happened, but I'm sure he'll get back to the top of progress sooner than later. He's too talented not to.
Injury prone though, Travis. Third injury in 3 years. It's not looking good for him.
I mean, it happens, man. It happens. Who knows? We will see what lies ahead for the career of Eddie Dennis. What lies ahead for us is nothing, because that's it. That's episode 80 in the books. What did you think of this? Well, we pretty much already reviewed it, bitching about it the entire time we reviewed it, just how lackluster it was. And
Yeah, I think me calling it a wet fart is the review.
I think that sums it up. It's so good to have you back and for doing this and taking the time on our tech issue side. We got one in, and it's the miracle of editing. Maybe they'll never know. Until then, I want them to know
Maybe they won't.
where they can catch you and all that you do on that little Twitter machine.
You can find me on Twitter at the Perfect Tenant. You can buy our official merchandise from our online store, unionsmack.bigcartel.com. You can buy my first book, The Undertaker, A Trip Down Death Valley, from our online store or from completelynovel.com. And sooner rather than later, Travis, you'll be able to purchase my second book, NXT UK Year One. It's been a job. It's been a long time coming. I've had issues writing it, obviously with working, but do you know what? It's getting there, and it's going to be worth the wait.
Goddamn right. Thank you again, Matt, for doing this. I will talk to you next time when we hit the road again. NXT UK. Until then, follow me on Twitter at TheVickyTMD, ProWrestlingJournal.com. All the fantastic writers are there, happy to ring. It's your thing. And that little red goddamn button right down below, right here on YouTube. Hit VickyTMD, all the goodness, retro gaming, pro wrestling, heavy metal podcasts. We got you covered. All the bases, your nerdy, funny bones, we're going to tickle them. Until next time, Union Smack. Cheerio, mates.